Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is January 9th, I believe. This is Stan Becker from Stan Becker Songs YouTube, thanking you for 750,000 views. Go there quick because those views are being erased really quickly by Zuckerberg, and we have a story about it, his latest adventures as well. But concerning Newsom, as I'm reporting from Venice, California, January 9th, a lot of people are wearing masks. Not for the bird flu yet. I think that's Newsom's next trick. But for all the smoke and the pollution from now a range of fires across the Los Angeles County area, including right next door, northern Santa Monica, Pacific Palisades, Topanga Canyon, where I motorcycled up that canyon many years. I'm 73. I've been here 44 years, so I've been blessed and cursed to see a lot of California history. I'll tell you about Newsom's here now with our Councilwoman, Traci Park, CD11, our Meth Mike Bonin doppelganger, Ed Buck, Eric Garcetti, real estate partner, social justice warrior. And the week that Hillary Clinton is honored, because this is big Clinton Foundation money down here in Hunter Biden open border Venice. She came down here to get that infamous picture of her in a rainbow tie with Ed Buck, drug house prostitution, interstate sex trafficking, serial torture, murderer, elite. You can check out the specifics on BuzzFeed's 3-part series, Queer Elite, Ed Buck, something like that. Well, Meth Mike Bonin, Ed Buck. Now Meth Mike Bonin, our council person, widely hated. The gay mafia rainbow front by every diverse demographic. Was kicked upstairs, did his job for Dirty Roger Mahoney, and started St. Joseph's Homeless Center from a small one residential lot with 2 sisters who were really devoted traditional Catholics and good, earnest, honest people, as was Police Chaplain Steve Weller, God rest his soul. In another religious denomination, but at the now defunct Foursquare Church here, who was a police chaplain and also my chaplain, although I'm a Jewish person. I had a personal friendship and relationship with Chaplain Steve, who knew the story. But the rank and file has been decimated purposefully. Newsom's here with Councilwoman Traci Park. And the helicopters are busy. I'm concerned about the firefighting teams and the animals and the citizens, of course. But Newsom here with damage control. Mayor Bass flew back from Ghana, sitting with Councilwoman Traci Park. Meth Mike Bonin doppelganger, also from Loyola Marymount. The reason why this is part of the story, an important part of the story related to St. Joseph's, is the quid pro quo. Hard left, Jew-hating, socially engineering, weaponized academia, not just Loyola, but primarily so here, with Carl Lambert, Felon and Carl Lambert Investments being a major donor, and in a circle with Major Venice Chamber of Commerce, Venice Neighborhood Council. They own that puppet show. It's not even memorialized in the entertainment capital of the world, with the West Side Coalition crack-addled producer Chuck Lorre having his name on the Venice Family Clinic, and took Whoopi Goldberg's millions to expand a fleet and have an architectural makeover, and the salaries at top are enormous, and at the bottom it's these entry-level indoctrinated stooges. Back to Newsom, the real plan is he doesn't care about how many people have left the state. He's got new citizens, and it's been a long strategized sanctuary city civil invasion. I've been called a conspiracy theorist by Crack House Jack V. Hoffman, real estate agent for Horizon Apartments LLC, the most serially drug house, prostitution, meth baby, meth units, serially violent single address in Venice, with several hundreds of individual LAPD have been deployed, as have LAFD, and emergency rooms and ambulances and helicopters and canine units. So one address, Carl Lambert Investments, right next to another multi-dwelling building, Carl Lambert Investments, behind another controlled Morrison Hotel, which the Doors had to sue him to get that man off of there. So the whole thing is theater. I mentioned rock and roll because that's part of the story too. So St. Joseph's became when Dirty Roger Mahoney, pedophile protection racket king, had enraged and upset and scarred and brutalized, disfigured, and then demeaned traditional Catholic children and families. Finally, the previous Holy Father censured him and forbade him from any public position or voice, which he has violated regularly because the big money is here. Cardinal Gomez, our first cardinal from another country, from neighboring Mexico, read the reports of the decades of Mahoney deceiving the police, and he called it brutal, not just painful, but brutal. And brutality, my friend, is a power control tactic that Ed Buck used, because when he trolled the recovery rooms like sober Meth Mike Bonin, sober Crack House Jack V. Hoffman, and all these guys that troll these recovery rooms for low-hanging fruit, easy victims, or rich drunk actors to sell crap to with a carny line of crap. It's resulted in business after business after business after business failing as their new renaissance finally achieved, and it's an elite ghost town. Their only hope is this in Councilwoman Traci rape. I call her that not just because of my friend Mary Klein's face-breaking, heartbreaking 8 bones in her face broken. Somebody had an agenda. We still can't get the proper information, but I have information, and the people who gave the information to the police have information, and other people do, and we've been further censured for that by the damage control, because Dirty Roger now controls the police that he deceived. He's changed them. That's infamous and unimpeachably documented by the rank and file themselves, professional officers who left for security positions or went on the radio courageously, as more FBI need to do, and said that they couldn't protect us. They couldn't even protect themselves during the Becky Dennison BLMLA, Tracy Park, Loyola Marymount, felon Carl Lambert, socially engineered West Side Coalition, coordinated nonprofits, mob riots, while you were getting free money and hiding away and traumatizing your children for generations with masks and no playground by Abbot Kinney Boulevard, the coolest or cruelest block in the nation. And no senior center, because when Venice Community Housing Corporation related to St. Joseph Center, stay with me, because these things are all interrelated. Dr. Jordan Peterson, a hero of mine, and I am an ant speaking about a giant, but he would understand that sometimes it's important to go down side trails and extemporaneous and extemporaneous, because issues are related to each other, as fields of science are related to each other. And boy, does that come in to this also, when these academias are also research hospitals. And the low-hanging fruit are the extreme low-income people, the homeless people who, guess what, might not be drawn here for freedom. Quite purposefully, that was socially engineered as well. Now, this is too complicated for people to understand, but during this lab rat lockdown, I'm talking about Carl Lambert rehabbed his Venice V hotel, and V stands for vicious and violence and also dangerous. More than a hotel, he advertises. Yeah, more than a hotel, a rape. Venice V Hotel, Venice Waldorf, Venice Suites, Morrison Hotel. After being sued by the Doors, now Morrison Apartments, because apparently Jim might have farted there once before going back to Laurel Canyon and doing what he did. But it's back to John Densmore, who bought hand drums to Rhino Records. Gary Stewart Skirball tribute. Liberty Hill Foundation. Talk about the importance of going back down side trails and finding interrelated subjects. It's really great because you get called a conspiracy theorist by cowards who won't show up, because luckily for you and for me, when I ask God to not put me in this position and get me the hell out of here with 2 concussions, a series of emergency rooms, surgical reports, doctor reports, ambulance reports, after Felicia Adams Kellum, now in the news and cleverly not in the news, Los Angeles housing. Talk about interrelated side trails and interconnectedness. Finally, they found an initial 50 million, now 215 million in fraud. They're going to find over $1 billion. Newsom knows about it as he crawls here. And as Karen Bass-Tord flies back from Ghana to sit with Tokyo and Paris flying Councilwoman Traci Rape, not just the Venice Canals rape, damage control that endangered women and men in this community. Or the man who was in Horizon Apartments, LLC, Drug House, Becky Dennison, BLM, Snow White, Splain Apartments, Carl Lambert Investments, Crack House, Jack Hoffman, Steve Clare, Venice Community Housing, Linda Lux, Venice Neighborhood Council, Venice Community Housing, Hollywood Community Housing, sexual predators on youth, actually not safe place for youth affiliate. So they dropped that when I busted them at a Venice Neighborhood Council Homeless Committee meeting with octogenarian actress, I should talk at 73, Allie Mills, Orson Bean, the late Orson Beans, who went to American Academy of Dramatic Art in New York, as I did when I was a young man. These glasses someone gave me these, I'm sorry. You know, I look like a crazy homeless person, which is part of the shame-blame game, because I am. I'm also the king of rock and roll, and that's part of this story, because they've spent tens of thousands of dollars to just stop the songs I wrote. Talk about extemporizing interconnectedness. When I tried to relocate, after those concussions of being smacked from behind and then bludgeoned in my apartment. This is all by Felicia Adams Kellum and Becky Dennison, West Side Coalition, Venice Neighborhood Council. When I say West Side Coalition, I mean Step Up on Second, Loyola Julie DeRose, St. Joseph's Center, Loyola Julie DeRose, People's Concern, others. Back to St. Joseph's. It's now a huge compound, because when Meth Mike Bonin had secret meetings with Dirty Roger Mahoney in 05, see how I did that? Gonna have to join Twitter Premium and make a friend with Rock or somebody. Unless there's a single woman over 50 that can do a credible dance to Iggy Pop's Lust for Life. Has a sauna. So that would be just about anybody in Pacific Palisades, but now that's going to be free government housing. So Newsom's here, he gets a lot of his water from a private lake. So that vineyard, they ain't no worried about no fires. Ain't no fire up gonna bother Gavin Newsom. Born to it, Pelosi crime family. So he privatizes. Well, we own that lake and the other lake, and so yeah, a lot of shit burned, but a lot of people left, and we got new people, and so now it's a sanctuary city in a civil invasion. And talk about Dirty Roger Mahoney rising from the ashes to encourage civil disobedience in the name of the church who he blasphemed and the children he destroyed. Another reason you're homeless, hitmakers, I have high definition videos given to me by a person I like to protect and keep anonymous, but works for does a very important job. Very, very unique skill set for a very important organization. And I had high definition cameras and didn't even hide the interviews with St. Joseph's personnel, like Robert Kenyon, talking about the generations of dysfunction extrapolating out into every direction from just one of those sexual assaults. So now I'm triggered. And I don't want to talk about the Hispanic woman that I tried to help and knew, along with a woman's church crew that was beaten and raped in that building. No, I just trying to talk to Traci Park has gotten me injured. So, Daddy's home, bring it. St. Joseph's compound, FEMA offices. If this wasn't an office, the Alfora and others called it the most dangerous beach in the nation, outranking Daytona Beach. We have the Megan's Law sexual assault crime apps. And when we show you that, please understand that they'll say, well, that's only a half of what's really happened. No, that's maybe a tenth of what happened. Right out in the open underneath all these security cameras you pay for. Section 3. Because this nonprofit corruption is owned by lawfare lawyers. They kill the very demographics that they race bait and exploit in the media. So now it's a huge compound. And they employ these stooges purposefully. Easy to manipulate, easy to manage, totally dependent. Indoctrinate them to Jew hate and empowered protected violence and manipulated, knowingly or not, and unwillingly and eagerly, including the Venice Family Clinic van personnel, St. Joseph's guy that was a homeless guy like Bobby Maddox wearing the same uniform, the guy that bludgeoned me in my apartment. I spoke with Chief Setzer, available for a photo walk with Traci Park, who knows who the next chief is. This is the Bank of America. They give big hundreds of thousands to St. Joseph's compound. Too much money here. St. Monica's Church, Meth Mike Bonnet and his husband strutting in with their black child. I only mention that because they never fail to mention that, including St. Monica's themselves and Google themselves. Gee, the Google building's right here. I could walk you there. So's the Rand building, which is not a nonprofit. These guys won't even give you 20s if you walk in with an ATM card if you don't pay for an account. They tell you in a foreign accent some really rude shit and feel good about it. It's a Bank of South America, apparently. Surfside cocaine cartel. Well, these motherfuckers kept their mouth shut when each of these windows was machine gunned, as well as the windows out front. No detective, no reports by Venice, the Argonaut, Free Venice Beachhead, Santa Monica Mirror, Santa Monica Plus, Santa Monica Closer, Venice Update. Call the news van if you want to support a war from your loud brat lockdown free money mass fucking homes, some of which are now gone because there wasn't sufficient resources. They didn't have a vineyard in the weren't the Pelosi crime family. Thanks for watching. Stan Becker Venmo. Homeless 5.5 years and 73 non-criminal. Accomplished. Accountable. Local presence. I studied childhood education and child psychology and taught in a nursery school adjunct to my college. I studied biblical literature. I don't have a normal academic background. I took what I was interested in for my own reasons beyond what I even understood I was doing, but it continues to enrich me and empower me. God bless you. Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas. Easter's coming. Anniversary of Gary Stewart's passing. Shot himself in the throat. Liberty Hill Foundation. They're leaving Twitter. They're quote unquote transitioning off of Twitter. I bust people and they transition and I get more busted and beat. Stan Becker Venmo. I got a bunch of new songs. I need a studio and a producer and a fucking sandwich. And the right vehicle. Enough money to get the fuck out of here. We come to you because my mission is your heart. And I will see you.